Welcome, welcome to the Daily Huddle. Today is Monday. Today is a brand new day. Today is the first day for the rest of your life. And today we're going to talk about protecting your money. And the quote I have for you today is by Warren Buffett. Rule number one, never lose money. Rule number two, don't forget rule number one. All right, everyone. Again, welcome. My name is Alvin, Darien. You're on the Daily Huddle. You know, we huddle up daily so that you can get 15 to 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, but it's up to you to give us implementation, right? You got to take action. And I truly believe in order to take action, you got to have a coach. And I started off with our quote today. And hopefully you can see my screen. If you can give me thumbs up, Liz, if you can see my screen, and if you can hear me loud and clear. Perfect. You never lose money. And then rule number two, never forget rule number one. You know, I was at a seminar and I paid some big money to hear Warren Buffett speak. And I had a new sheet of paper out and a brand new pen. And I'm sitting there waiting. I'm waiting for him to give us the gold nuggets. And he gave us that. I was like, that's it? He was like, that's it. So everybody, let's start off with a warm up. I love to surround the conversation around foundation. You know, birthday parties are coming up, weddings are coming up, and people love cake. You ever notice people have cake at celebrations, right? People have cake at celebrations. Now, let me tell you this. What are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? Now, before I go into the financial cake, you know, before we give you a slice of cake, I need to know the time, everybody. I need to know what time is it. Gio, what time do you have?
The time is now.
The time is now. Okay, got it. Sorrel, what time do you have over there, man?
Man, my clock is right all the time.
That's good.
It's always now.
Sound like you're present, man. I'm going to give you a piece of financial cake in 1 second, man. And what are you grateful for?
I am grateful. You know, this morning I was thinking about it. I'm grateful for GPS.
Wow. You know,
I was taking a trip to the airport this morning and bam, it told me where the traffic was, rerouted me. I was there in no time.
That's what's up. And sometimes we need a GPS in our financial life. You know, we just need some guidance and some instruction. So everybody, let's jump right into it. Have a lot of information to cover. And protection. Do you have a foundation? Do you have protection on your legacy? Do you have protection on your dream? You know, most people overlook this one, right? So there's money insurance and then there's dream insurance. Money insurance is more like life insurance, because you're replacing the money that was coming in. Dream insurance is long-term care so that you do not have to stop your dream to take care of a loved one, right? Now, let me tell you this too. The next part of this cake, because it's in layers, is emergency fund. You got to have an emergency fund, right? 6 months, and if you make six figures, 12 months of money saved. And then you got to understand that your debt got to be under control. So you cannot just pay debt and do not pay your emergency fund. You notice it's on the same line. You got to increase your emergency fund and decrease your debt at the same time. So if you're putting $300 a month inside of your emergency fund, right, then you pay $300 towards debt. It has to be an even number. And then the next part of the cake, everybody loves this part, is the fun, the savings, right? The fun part, the travel part. See, every piles of money or buckets of money must have a job. And then today we're going to talk about building wealth. We're going to talk about building wealth today because most people want to jump to building wealth, but they don't have a foundation. So if I'm baking your favorite cake and I forget to put the eggs and butter in your favorite cake, what's going to happen? It's not going to be a cake, everybody. It's going to be mush. So if you don't build your financial cake with a foundation and do it in the layers of priority, then you will not have a strong foundation. Now, the financial cornerstones is how I personally build financial plans for our clients. So let's take a look at it. The first thing we look at, we just covered it, was protection. And then we're going to look at a very good tax advantage strategy. And we got to make sure your money is safe, and we got to make sure your money is growing. So let's take a look at it. Protection, tax advantages, safety, and growth. You got to have all four. Most financial professionals, quote unquote, they only give you two, and some only give you one. You got to get 4 out of 4. Let's talk about managing risk, right? The market risk, the impact of a loss. It hurts more than you think. So let's say that we all have $100, and then let's say that we lose 50%, right? We lose 50%. Now, this is hard math for some people. If you had $100 and you lost 50%, how much money do you have? $50. Okay, we good. I think we figured that one out. Now, for me to get back to $100, what is my rate of return? So some people would think, well, I only need 50%. Well, you're only getting half of the half. See, 50% of $50 is $25. So now I only have $75. So let's say $50 and I gain back 50%. That's $75. Wait a minute. I lost 50, but I gained back 50. There is a difference in percentage in money. There's a difference because I got half of the half. In order for me to break back even, I need to get 100%. That's the only way I will get back whole to 100 because I got to have that rate of return. Now, most people are not getting that. So here's a snapshot of the Dow Jones from the last month. And I grabbed this morning at 8:57, right? As you can notice in the screen, it went up, it went down, it went up, it went down, 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 up a little bit, down. So if you're in your 70s, right? Even if you're in your 60s, how many more losses can you take? Can you take another hit? You don't want to be the person planning a retirement party and you already have the invitations out, right? And then you got to cancel the party because of correction in the market. We don't want to do that. Well, let's take a look at something called a sideways market, right? You're up 10, down 10. Up 10%, down 10%. We started with $1,000, but it looks like we made money, lost money, the same amount interest wise. But you only have 951 after 10 years in this example. Why is that? Because you're losing more of the balance than you originally started off with. You're losing a bigger number. Now let's take a look at protecting the principal and growth. So we start with 1,000. We got to step up. So if the market went down, we are still at the same reset, right? Our money did not go down. As the market grew, we locked it in again. So another correction, we don't have to worry about that. Most people will see this chart and won't take action. But I know you're going to take action, right? Lock in, grow. Lock in, grow. And look at that. That's a big difference. We only use $1,000. What if that was 100,000? What if that was $1 million? Something to consider, right? So let's look at options for your money. You have options. Stop thinking that it's one way. Stop thinking one or the other. You have options. You can have both. Well, let's take a look at it. Fixed account, variable account, and index. The fixed account is steady. You get 3% or less. You're not beating inflation. You're losing money to inflation because you're getting less. I'm going to say 3, but we know we're in a situation right now that inflation is over 8. Another choice, another option, you can have it variable, you can have it volatile, you can have it dynamic, you can have it moving all the time, you can have your heart rate go up. If you want that, you could have your money work up and down, up and down, up and down, and you just love that thrill. It's okay, it's an option. What I just showed you was the index. You follow the market, but you're not in the market, right? And you're going to get these lock-ins and step-ups. See, as it step up, like I shared with you on the previous chart, we're going to step up. Not only step up, we're going to lock in. So you're going to lock in those gains. So let's say in this example, right? Let's say that you're at 200,000. The market corrects. You're still at 200,000. And you grow from the 200,000. Now you're at 400,000. The market was a correction, right? You grow from the 400,000. Now be honest with me. If you saw this back in 2008, which one would you choose? Goes back to this rule right here, everybody. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. But people will mess this strategy up for some reason. Well, let's talk about the tax factor real quick. This is more of some bonus material. So let's say, for instance, if you had a dollar that doubled 20 times, how much money do you have? Now, the answer is not $20. If you had a dollar that doubled 20 times, okay, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, like that, 16 to 32, 32 to 64, 64 to 128, you're doubling a dollar. So if I double a dollar 20 times, you're at $1 million. Over 1 million. Okay. And if you had one more double, you're at 2 million. The key is getting doubles. But let's take a look at it. If we had to pay taxes, let's say on the gains along the way. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. Wow. I didn't know it was going to be destroyed like that. Yeah. So the question I have for you is this here. What column do you want? The tax side or the not tax side? Would you rather have for retirement 1 million or 28,000? Well, there's something called money mistakes. Is it a mistake if you keep making it over and over again? No, that's a habit. That's a habit of not taking action in the right financial pile. Well, remember I said each pile of money has a job? Let's talk about your mortgage, your utilities, and your groceries. You're always going to have that. You need a place to live, you need internet and lights, and you need groceries. Now, let me tell you this. I want you to put a grip on your money. See, most people don't have a grip on their money. Here it is. Growth. Yes, I want growth. Reasonable rate of return. Right? Reasonable is 5 to 8. When you have like multipliers and you have like higher participation rates, it can be more than the reasonable rate of return. Income for life. Who wants to run out of money? Nobody. And the last one is principal protection. So are you ready to put a grip on your money, or do you want the IRS to have a grip on your money? Last example here. You have 200,000 in an account. Okay. The market grows 10%. You now have 220,000. Now, everybody, this is just concepts. I'm not talking about a company. I'm not talking about a product. This is just basic concepts, right? And let's say the market dropped 10. Wow, you lost 10% of a higher number. It's not going to be 200,000 even. Stop listening to the news and the media and saying, oh, the market's up, the market's down. Don't worry, you're back whole. No, you're not. Okay, you're going to roll the dice, buy and wholesale, buy wholesale, talk to your brother-in-law, talk to your cousin, talk to people who don't know much about money, but you're getting advice from them. It's time to get wisdom. What has advice cost you? It's time to get some wisdom. Now, it goes back up 10%. You're at 217. You're like, I'm not even back at the 220. No, because you got 10% of a lower number. What I want to do is put a floor on your principal. So when it grows, I put another floor on your principal. And then if the market has a correction, you're still at 220. And if the market grows from there, that's 242. Guess what? Put another floor on it. That's $224,000 difference. Just imagine if it was 400,000, or if it was 800,000, or if it was a million. Let me tell you this: it's not about how much money you have; it's about what you do with it. So think about it: same amount of money, same exact time frames, very different results. The major concerns, or I said concerns to soften it up, the major fears. Fear. So here it is. Will I run out of money? And will I lose money? Will I run out of money? And will I lose money? I get that all the time. Now, here's a question. How can I help you protect and grow your money? If you think of that question, right? Most people want protection. They want growth. They want both, but they don't know that they can get both. So how can we help you? I'll tell you how. It starts with education first, and it starts with a coach. Okay? It starts with education and a coach. If it's not me or somebody on the team, you got to find a coach, and you hand them, you said, I want protection and growth. Okay, great. We can do it for you. So I'm going to stop my share right now. I'm going to open it up for a Q&A, and hopefully we have enough time to answer your questions. And today was what? 15 minutes. Think about it. These 15 minutes of information, this 15 minutes, right, of learning could really change your trajectory of your financial future. All right, we have a hand up. CC.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the knowledge and information. I had a question.
Okay.
Let's say I went and borrowed money. It's like going to be like 20, 30%. Okay. Can I start investing that money and it multiply enough to where the principal on all that can be paid for? We taking opportunities to do something, because they'll say we haven't saved $200,000. We haven't saved 100,000. Okay, I'm pausing.
Let me tell you this. It sounds like a great idea until it doesn't work, right? Suppose the market goes down and we just get 0%, and then the loan that you got is, say, 20%. You see, it's going opposite. The opposite effect has happened. Now, I don't highly recommend it that a person go and borrow a loan to put into a financial product, unless there's something out there called premium financing. I don't want to get into that, but most likely with premium financing, it's a catch-up plan. However, the business owner can handle, in an example, let's say $2,000 to $3,000 a month type of responsibility. Now, we have to look at all the factors. Now, some people may think that's a great idea and they may go for it, but you got to look at the worst of the worst case scenario. What if the interest rate on the money you're making does not beat the interest rate on the loan? Now you're going backwards. Now you don't have money, and you have a loan, and you got high interest rate. Now you got to make the loan payment. It could be a disaster for some people. So that is something that I do not personally recommend, but there are projects and programs out there for people to take advantage of premium financing. And the net worth, normally for that, you got to have over $5 million net worth. Hopefully I answered that question. Any other questions?
So a little follow up on that. I didn't quite get the enough context. Were you pointing to borrowing against the money I have been growing on an index account? Is that what you were pointing to?
No. I was pointing to if somebody got a loan from a bank.
Oh, okay.
You don't want that interest to go the opposite way, and then your account does not grow, right?
Oh, okay. I
Then
got
you're
it.
going backwards. You're going backwards. Now, what if it works? It's a big what if, right? Then you were considered in a good timing situation. But what if it doesn't work? Oh man, you're in a 10 times worse situation now. It's kind of like, look at it like baseball, right? You're not going to hit a home run every time. If I can just get on base, right? Just get on base, then guess what? We're going to win eventually. Ronald,
Hey Alvin, how's it going? How you doing?
man, doing good, man, doing
Good,
good.
good. You know, the chart you showed about the index, locking in the money and as it grows, is there a bank? Is it just based on the market, or would the bank also add interest to your earning?
The
Or
bank, will-
whatever institution, would that add interest to that earning? Or is it just based on the market?
they will add interest for their self, and they will probably give you 1% or less. So they're
Oh,
going to make interest, but they're going to give you 1% of that interest, and they're probably going to keep the double digit return.
okay.
So yes, the answer is yes. You can get your one. They get 10 to 12, and then we lose. Think
Okay.
about it. Has the bank ever called you and said, "Hey, we want to deposit some more money in your account"?
Hell no.
No. Have they ever said, "Hey, we want to add a little more interest because you've been loyal here for the last 20 years? We want to just give you the 10%." No, unless you are in some type of risk environment that they're hedging and there's so many other factors, but a basic account, that's not, I've never seen it happen now. It could happen, but I'm not going to bank on it.
Now, what's the best institution, or I guess place where you could really do index? Is this just
It
going straight to the
depends.
market, or
No, no, it all depends. It all depends. Like, let's say I have access to over 40 different styles of index accounts, right? So you got to see the best one that works for that client. I have one client that goes with company A. I got a client that goes with company B. I got another client that goes with company D. Different. It depends on the person, and it depends on how much assets they have, and it depends on their timeline, and it depends on their risk tolerance, and it depends on if they're open to new ways of saving money for the future. Now, if a person's stuck on their old ways, there's nothing I can do. Like they won't beat inflation, right? They're probably going to pay a lot in fees. They're probably going to lose money because it's probably based on a company's um, return, not a whole overall index. The old way versus the new way. That's my biggest arm wrestle right there. The old way traditional saving money. Hey, if you got 50 more years, it may work. But if a person got 10 to 15 years, that's not going to work.
yeah, okay.
All right. Go ahead, Gio.
Yeah, one of the things I hear, Alvin, is that the vehicles that are out there for savings, right, and to have money work for you. It's what I'm thinking, Alvin, is that the concepts are very foreign for most of us. There, at least for myself, where I have grown, my relationship with money has always been, I work for money. I work to make money. And the and when and then the only institution I've ever had a relationship with, where at first, the first institution to have a relationship with is a checking account, is a savings account, and your parents open up a checking account for you and a savings account for you, and then that's it. That's the only place to put your money, and everything else outside of a bank is, since it's so foreign, it sounds threatening. Like, will my money still be there? You know what I mean?
Well,
And so what I'm hearing is that it's important to find, and we're doing it every Monday on the Daily Huddle, to upgrade my relationship with what's available. That's what I'm hearing. And at first, it's really uncomfortable and scary for most people. But then we discover, or I'm discovering, that there are other vehicles other than the savings account to grow money.
Got it.
And the relationship with these institutions, it's not banker with, consumer with banker, but it's also consumer with vehicles. And it doesn't have to be one particular banker. It's just the vehicles that are available. And absent of upgrading that relationship, I'm going to be stuck with the 0.1% of the bank. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, Gio, where's the information coming from? Right? Let's look at the root cause of that. It's coming from our parents, our grandparents, and it's just coming from the traditional way of we're taught money. So where's the message coming from? The messenger leaves, but the message lingers. Okay? So if I invite you to this country club and the membership is, let's say, $5,000 a month in this example, but you don't care about the $5,000 a month because of the information you're getting in there. So why do you think that these closed door meetings of the elite and the wealthy have these meetings to talk about different ways of saving money? That's not your average person is going to pay that $5,000 a month. But if the information is that valuable, and let's say you're making 20, 30 grand a month from that information, is it worth it? Yes, it is. But here's the good news. You don't have to pay $5,000 a month for a country club membership. You can have a coach that was at the meeting, that learned from the meeting, that want to share it with the masses. Gio, until we break up the old thinking of money, a person in the future, they probably will not have any money based on inflation and based on, wrong moves, based on losing money, based on taxes. Think about all the threats. Disability of income, a big health concern, the market goes down, you lose money, the inflation goes up, price of goods goes up. You see, all of this stuff that can attack your life savings, right? So if I eliminate the threats, I'll have more peace of mind. But if you never eliminate the threats, then you're always going to have uncertainty.
Yeah. You know what I'm hearing, Alvin? This very, very important to understand the foundation. For example, cryptocurrency just lost, I think, $1 billion. And so at some point there was this fear of missing out. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not investing in crypto. What is this crypto? I need to invest in crypto. It made all these millionaires, and it took a tank, and a really remarkable tank just now. And so there's this aspect of trend, and then there's this aspect of foundation. And the foundation, it is not a trend. It's not generational. It's critical to understand, which is what you were sharing today, so that I have as you mentioned in a different episode, I gotta have my learning money. But it's outside of the foundation.
But are you willing to invest? I'm not saying you as a general. I'm saying I'm not directed to Gio, but everybody. Are you willing to invest in learning money? Oh no, I'll Google it. Okay, how's that working? If everybody could Google their way to millionaire status or Google their way to retirement status, everybody would be rich. You notice there's enough information out there. Well, I read here, man. I saw it is over here. Okay, great, awesome. Let me see your statements. Yep. And it goes down, it goes from there. You got to be open and willing to put all your stuff on the table. And you have to admit that, hey, I may not know what I'm doing. I need help. That's the first step. But if you try to do it yourself, that's not going to work for most people. And it's unfortunate that there's so much information and so much noise in the barbershop talk and people here talking over here. And it's just, what do? You're right. People had fear of loss with crypto. Now people say, I'm glad I didn't get into crypto. Some people say, man, I'm holding on. I'm buying more. See, you have all these different, that's nowhere in, of all the teachings that I teach, it does not say follow the crowd. Well, everybody, that's our time. I can keep going on and on and on. I can stay here another 8 hours, but we're not going to do that today. I'm going to close this out. So everybody, believe in yourself. Believe that you deserve better. Belief drives everything, everybody. 7 things I want you to focus on. Love more. Be in a loving state. Accept love. Give love. Stress less. Don't sweat the small things. Don't let a uncontrollable control you. All right. Number 3, laugh more. Figure out, watch a movie on your downtime that makes you laugh. You got to relax, right? Eat more plant-based. Smaller portions is what I call it. Smaller portions, right? Get your 6 to 7 hours of sleep. There's a lot of studies going on right now with sleep. People are missing out on sleep. And so if you can do those 7 things, if you can just pick 3 or 4 to start off with, every day be aware of it, you're going to be a better person. You're going to have better relationships, and you're going to have stronger conversations, and you're going to connect to more people and empower more people. So Gio, in the Daily Huddle, this is my time, everybody. Have a great day. Have a productive day. Make today count. And I'll see each and every one of you at the top, because the bottom is too crowded with excuses. Take care, and God bless everyone. Talk to you soon.
I love the final statement, man. The bottom is too crowded.
Too crowded with excuses. So, man, I'm going to jump on a meeting right quick, and I'll hit you back.